gets himself organized.
I'll try to be nice.
That's good. Thank you, Ken. So I'd like to welcome everybody to the meeting today that's come online. We've got a great attendance from all over, which is lovely. Today we've got two special guests, one being District Governor Mary Aufdenkampe. Hope I said it right, Mary. Forgot to ask you. And our Assistant Governor, Lisa Wilson. So I'll hand it over to Lisa in a minute. First of all, I'll introduce Lisa to us all. So Lisa Wilson is our practitioner of traditional Chinese medicine. She owns and operates Lisa Wilson Acupuncture, which is located in Sandusky. She also works in conjunction with the Seidman Cancer Centre and the Foundation for Firelands. Lisa is a Sandusky High School alumna, class of 99. After high school, Lisa travelled north and received her Bachelor of Science degree in biology from the University of Michigan. She also obtained her teaching degree in secondary education with a major in biology and minor in general science. She continued her postgraduate education in Chicago at Pacific College of Oriental Medicine. Upon completion of her degree and becoming board certified in Oriental Medicine, Lisa chose to return to Ohio to start practicing medicine. She is licensed with the State of Ohio Medical Board as a licensed Oriental medical practitioner. She's a current member and past secretary of the Ohio Association of Acupuncture and Oriental Medicine and sits as a panel member on the Oriental Medicine Advisory Committee with the State of Ohio Medical Board. In the community, Lisa has enjoyed her time as a member of the Sandusky Rotary Club. She also serves as a secretary of the Sandusky High School Alumni Association and is a member of the Sandusky City Schools Recruitment and Retention Committee. Lisa enjoys traveling, reading, spending time with her family, and is a huge sports fan, backing her beloved Wolverines and Blue Streaks. Lisa is a mother to one daughter, Zoe, who will be entering the 9th grade at Sandusky High School. So welcome to our meeting tonight, Lisa.
Thank you. So for some reason that didn't update. My daughter is actually going to be a junior now, so that little bit didn't update in my bio. She's 16 now, so she's aged a little bit. But thank you, Dee. It's my pleasure to be here with you guys. Always a pleasure to see everyone. I have the honor to introduce your district governor. So I'm going to read her bio for you. Mary Aufdenkampe was invited to join the Rotary Club of Avon Lake, Ohio in October of 1988. And is proud to have been among the first women inducted into Rotary into the United States. She was one of only 4 women serving as president in District 6600 in the 1992-93 year. Since 1998, Mary has been a proud member of the Rotary Club of Oberlin, Ohio, and served as president in 2014 to 15. She has many years of perfect attendance, both in Avon Lake, which is now known as the North Coast Club, and in Oberlin. Mary has served in several roles at the district level, including district vocational service chair, governor nominee committee member, a district club service chair, assistant governor, district group study exchange chair, and then the student counselor for youth exchange and the district alumni chair. She also supports MESA, which is one of our district projects, and enjoys working with others on international service projects. She was instrumental in grant writing and coordinating projects with other Rotary districts to fund a borehole well in Zimbabwe, Africa, and a milk parlor project in 2017-18. In addition, Mary has supported Trees That Feed and Little Dresses for Africa, made by Interact Club students, United Methodist women's groups, fellow Rotarians, and senior citizens supporting Rotary Without Borders. Mary is passionate about youth programs and has served for over a decade as a youth exchange officer of her home club, coordinating both short and long-term exchanges. Mary has completed the Rotary Leadership Institute modules 1 and 2, attended numerous district assemblies and district conferences, where he has served as a facilitator and presenter over the years. She has attended multiple Rotary International conventions and is a proud Paul Harris Fellow Major Donor. Outside of Rotary, which I don't know how she has time for anything else, Mary supports numerous community associations, including the Oberlin Community Services, Oberlin Business Partnership, and Oberlin Heritage Center. She's active at the First United Methodist Church of Oberlin, serving as council at large, lay member to charge conference, and administrative council, finance committee chair, staff parish relation committee, and membership committee. Mary is a strong voice for women, equality, and inclusiveness, being recognized by the YWCA Elyria as a Woman of Achievement in 2016. She has a diverse professional background, beginning in the banking industry, from which she has retired after being associated with 2 banks in the Pittsburgh and Lorain County bank market. She also worked in the fashion industry, and as a substitute teacher, a licensure she continues to hold in Ohio. She and her husband, Gary, a charter member of your wonderful club, enjoy spending time traveling abroad and dining out. They also enjoy spending time with their 3 adult children and 3 grandsons, often sharing Rotary experiences with them. It is my pleasure to introduce our wonderful District Governor, Mary.
Thank you, Assistant Governor Lisa Wilson, and President D, and board members and all that are here this evening. We have great leadership in District 6600. On this call alone, how many past district governors and district leaders, you are truly appreciated. So, as Lisa said, I got started in Rotary in 1988. That was 33 years ago. And things have really changed since 1988, but I will share a little story. And when I was in the banking industry, Bob Bowman wore his bow tie to work every day, and he was the bank president. He wore his Rotary pin every single day. And he said, anyone on my leadership team needs to be in a service club. And I thought to myself, I'm young, I'm a mother, I'm working, I have kids. Why do I need one more thing? Well, I was invited to the Avon Lake Rotary Club. And in that club, there was a very special person, and his name was Bon Russell. He was a charter member, school administrator, and Bon really took me under his wing as a new member and taught me a lot about what I know in Rotary. It was said, this is what you do. We serve others, and you'll see the benefit from it without even saying who you represent or what you do. So I went through the chairs back then, because that's what you did. You didn't just become a club president because you went to the bathroom and you missed something and all of a sudden it's your turn to be president. Going through those chairs, I learned a lot too. And when I went through the chairs and went to All Ohio Pets training, and I think Jerry Scully, you were the trainer back then in 1992, 93. My husband was the only gentleman in the room. And we had what was called Rotarians back then. So a lot of my bank customers were Rotarians, but their spouses were Rotarians. So they had their own little group that they worked very hard to complement their spouses. So Gary made fun about where's his Rotary Andy buckle, because everybody else had a Rotary Ann pin. But again, change is coming in Rotary. So I accepted the role wholeheartedly with a lot of love and enthusiasm. And Bon was standing there right with me, encouraging me every step of the way. So when the district governor back then, Andy Anderson, came to visit the club, he had the full intent to make a recommendation that the Avon Lake Club be no longer in existence. And why was that? Because back then you could drink at lunchtime. And we met at this place called the Aquamarine, and the guys had martinis and Manhattans, and I ate the cherries and the olives, but I didn't have the drinks. And we'd come down to a meeting and have a really good meal at the Aquamarine. This was a resort that you could stay over, you could swim, you could golf. It was a real fun place to hang out. And that's what they were doing. They were hanging out and having a good time, but they weren't having keynote speakers. They weren't talking about back then the 4 avenues of service and the things that we should be doing. So I had a clear, concise plan. So Andy said, I have nothing to say. You seem very well organized and I wish you well. So when it came to district conference time, and this was back in the day when your employer paid your dues, your employer paid you to go to district conference, because this was about public image. I was representing myself, the bank, and Rotary, and there was a fine line between all of it. Today, employers aren't seeing the need to have their leadership team in a service club, and they're not willing to pay those fees. So Andy called me up to the stage, and I couldn't figure out, like, why am I being called up? What's going on? Well, Andy recognized me and my leadership for the most improved club in District 6600, the Presidential Citation of Achievement, and the best newsletter for a small club. So my boss, Bob Bowman, who was also in the Elyria Club at that time. And that club was very large then. It had about 180 members. When I got back to work Monday morning, we used to have this thing called inter-office mail, where there were runners from branch to branch and headquarters. There was a handwritten note from Bob Bowman telling me that I really did a great job representing the bank and then also representing Rotary. And there was a box of chocolates, which everybody knows I really love sweets. So these were some key things that have helped me stay in the organization and the passion. It was that foundation, that laying of that brick and mortar and respect. Well, from that point on, I was invited to serve at district level in a variety of capacities that Lisa has shared with you. And so I kind of really got started in Rotary, and it just became part of me. I couldn't imagine not being a Rotarian. So I decided when I was no longer working in the banking industry, I strive for perfect attendance. And I could have joined the club here in Vermilion where I reside, but they meet on a Wednesday. And Gary would always take Wednesday off from the office, and I would always take Wednesday off from the office, because we believe as a married couple that it's healthy to have a date day, that it's just our day. So when our children were in school, we would take Wednesday, and we would even go down to Mansfield and go skiing at snow trails, or we'd go to a special lunch in Cleveland or go to the museum and do something just for us and try to get back home when the kids were getting off the school bus. We think that that aids to making a healthy marriage. And, you know, it's been 30 some years, so maybe that is a good thing, that we like to play and do special things together. So Vermilion wasn't a good fit because I would never want to give up that perfect attendance. And can you, some of the past district governors on here will remember what we called the poison pen letter. If you miss 3 consecutive meetings, your membership could be in jeopardy. You would be getting a letter saying, why are you missing the club meeting? Today, I couldn't imagine sending someone something like that. So I investigated the Oberlin Rotary Club, and we have a very strong connection to Oberlin. It's about 18 miles south of our home, and they meet on a Friday. And I thought, what a great thing. Kickoff for the weekend. They meet at the Oberlin Inn. It's going to be a blast. So I joined the Oberlin Rotary Club. And then when Rex Engel was going to be governor, he asked if I would consider being a club president again, because I would do the best that I could to make sure we would meet or exceed the goals of the international president that year. So in 14-15, I was president again, and I went through all Ohio Pets again. And that time I was trained by Ken Robinson, was the district trainer. And every time I've been through this Pets experience, I've learned so much. Those friendships in connecting the state of Ohio with our 5 districts, meeting our international president and being commissioned at that time was really, really a special thing. And we decided in 14-15 that we needed a new type of Rotary Club in District 6600. So Gary had been following me around for years, and I'm sure Kim had been following Rex around for years. And we thought this would just be the perfect thing for our club to sponsor an E-Club. And the E-Club has proven to be such a wonderful club, and it connects people from all over to District 6600, and people that move out of the area, like David Doherty, you've moved to Indiana where you were in the Mansfield Club. So you still have that strong connection. And Jim and Sue have a place in Florida, and they have a connection here. These things keep us together, and that's so very, very important. So as I started on this journey to be a district governor, my training has been very interesting in that I never had the privilege to do fireside chats and drive all over Northwestern Ohio and get to know the president-elects, their communities ahead of time. What I did have the opportunity to do was to embrace technology and meet with the club presidents since September, leading up to their presidency July 1, in monthly meetings, encouraging them to visit the Rotary Learning Center, to do things to learn and have questions. And we brought speakers in each month in preparation for Mega Pets and All Ohio Pets. So in training this way, we still were very, very successful to move our district forward. So a lot of things have changed, but a lot of things remain the same. One thing that remains the same is the need to grow our membership base, a need to understand the Rotary identity. We have the privilege this year of having a very unique international president in Shaker Mehta. Shaker says he is the shaker, we are the movers. So we're the movers and the shakers, and we get to do things differently. He has given us a hall pass this year to be a change maker. What does it mean to be a change maker? That's going to mean something different to each and every one of us. Being a change maker is so important in order to grow Rotary. Since March of 2020, we've been in the COVID crisis, and we've lost friends and families, and businesses have failed. And it's been a very confusing time. But one thing about being a Rotarian, you know how to adapt, you know how to change, you know how to grow. I say this isn't a time to pass judgment and be critical of each other. I say it's a time to start over and have a heartfelt conversation with someone. Have a conversation to understand what service means. What does friendship mean? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? Maybe you feel depressed or anxious and you've never felt depressed or anxious in your life. The isolation has been hard and confusing. If you've been away from something for 16 months, maybe you don't even want to go back to it. And if it wasn't working 16 months ago, why repeat the same pattern? Why not change something again? I want you to feel like I do. I have a Rotary happy. Rotary makes me happy, and I love Rotary. I don't want to ever be without Rotary and the good work that we do. Rotary, we are people of action. We are loving and we are caring. So often a district governor can tell stories that are tear-jerking. And I'm very privileged to have traveled with my husband all over the world, and we have witnessed firsthand the atrocities and the lack of resources and the lack of education, and therefore you have oppression. But we have great resources and we can do great things. We have visited places where a home is a dirt floor and they feed a guinea pig grass, and the guinea pig is the dinner. Here, a guinea pig is a pet for our child. We've witnessed situations where people have had to make a choice to send a son or a daughter to school, and they always choose the son. When I had a chance to visit Uniendo with our Mesa situation and our relationships where we send things, we were going to be having the internet, the Mesa Uniendo thing in Panama face-to-face last year, but with COVID that didn't happen. But the year before, I was in Antigua, Guatemala with Gary, and I had the privilege of meeting someone that I really wanted to do a project with. And it was an orb. And she gets the materials in Arizona for the children to have an orb so that they can see in a balanced way, because if you're born without one, your development is greatly impaired. And this would have been a grant for $75,000. Well, COVID happened, so that project didn't happen. Another project was with shoes for children. If you don't have shoes, you can't go to school. And there was just a very small project of $1,500 to provide shoes for all of the children in that school. So many of these projects, so many of these ideas just didn't happen because of COVID. Well, now we're moving forward and we can start to think about projects and start to focus our energies in another way. So be a change maker. And when you think about being that change maker, think about the words that influence you, that greatly influence you and the direction you go. I have faith, I have hope, I have love, I have peace. And all of those things for me equal justice. We will move beyond our difficult times with kindness for one another, fairness for one another, and we will create a world where peace and understanding prevail. We will tame the savageness in the world, and we will be more gentle. And it all starts with those conversations to make us be more gentle. It is quite all right at any point in time to say, I'm having a change of heart. What I said yesterday might not have been right, or a week ago, or a month ago. But I'm human, I'm flawed, and I have a right to have a change of heart. I know that many of us are starved for love, and it all starts with me. I will focus on being a true change maker, and I want you to stand with me and be a true change maker too. So we have this thing in our district, and we've heard about it for about the past 8 years, called a three-legged stool. And that is about membership, which is critical to our existence, the foundation, and public image. These are three things that we need to pay attention to. But I decided when Shaker said he had 3 ideas that I was going to add a new three-legged stool. So therefore, 2 stools, 2 people, we're having a conversation. So Shaker said the environment is important, diversity, equity, and inclusiveness is important, and empowering girls are important. How are we going to do something in each of those areas in District 6600 to make someone's life better? I'm here to support Dee's goals. I'm here to support Shaker's goals. I'm here to support and serve all of you as your district governor. Shaker also said that he wants to see 1.3 million Rotarians. But you know, if everybody did bring someone, we would attain that goal. We have a chance again to change. That's a key word this year. I know it's difficult with membership and different types of membership, but I certainly support what Dee is sharing, that if somebody's not comfortable in their current club, rather than just leaving Rotary, that the E-Club provides an opportunity. We've talked about a satellite club, and that's something that's very easy to start because all you need is 8 people to do that. So if a club is really solid and there's 8 people that want to meet maybe twice a month for a specific cause or reason, there's that branch and creativity of that new satellite club. We know that Rotary is a good thing. All of us belong to Rotary, and we're very proud to be Rotarians. When we think about diversity, equity, and inclusiveness and sustainable peace, I will say that this year we are going to do on October 30th, a peace conference at Lorain County Community College. Of course, there will be the hybrid option. And Janine Donaldson, the executive director of the YWCA, has the lead on that. And I'm really hoping that we have a very strong and positive turnout. This is open to all. It's not targeting an age group. This is open to all, and it's going to be free. When I think about our environment, is our environment welcoming? As simple as that. Are we providing a harassment-free, a positive-free, where everyone's opinion and every voice is heard and matters? That's very important to move forward with equality. And of course, the environment. It's what we're going to leave behind for the next generation, that we have to start to pay attention to the environment. So what I decided to do this year with the environment, I thought, could we do a fundraiser for the foundation and do something that supports the environment? Now, of course, this is only applicable in the United States. We decided to raffle off a Ford Mach-E Mustang SUV, and the proceeds of that support the Rotary International Foundation. You can see that up on the district website. There's tickets available for sale, and the drawing will take place at the district conference. Now, when I think about the district conference, we have not had a face-to-face district conference in 6600. It will be 3 full years. So I polled the president-elects, how would you like to do a district conference? Because your opinion matters to me. This is to showcase what the club presidents accomplish in a year. So the choices were the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Cleveland Accelerate, the CLE, ball games, all the fun stuff in Cleveland that they have to offer, the Science Museum, the Crawford Museum, all of those fun things in Cleveland, Cedar Point, Niagara on the Lake, which we did many years ago. We did a conference. It was the 100th anniversary, and past District Governor Steve Day and past District Governor Bill Roos put something together. We had the Shaw Festival and the plays and wine country. We also, what was the other choice? So Cedar Point, Cleveland, Niagara on the Lake. Oh, one of my favorite things, and I'm waiting for a district governor to be bold enough to do this, to take us on a Rotary cruise. And I thought that with Mexico celebrating their 100th anniversary of Rotary, and then also the Bahamas, you get on a cruise ship, everything's included, and then you get off that cruise ship and you do a field project with a Rotary Club, but only 2 people out of 63 like that idea. So what we decided on was Geneva on the Lake. That was the top vote. And it should be up on the website to reserve rooms starting in January. And on May 14th at that conference, we will draw the winner of the Mach-E SUV, which supports the Rotary International Foundation and our environment. So those are 2 things. And then the club presidents, as they work so hard all year long in preparing for their presidency year, their name went into a hopper if they did the Learning Center, Mega Pets, Pre-Pets, all of the little things that we did. And one name was drawn, and that was President Vicki Smith of Van Wert. So she will accompany me to Houston, airfare and her registration for the International Convention. So I committed our district to 60 people from 6,600 to attend the International Convention in Houston. And what I can say about an international convention is to see 40,000 Rotarians come together, and I've attended 4 of them. Well, all of us like-minded, all of us experiencing and so excited for all of the great things that we do in Rotary. I plan to showcase our District 6600 in the House of Friendship with our MESA, Medical Equipment Supplies Abroad, and then also showcase projects that our clubs accomplish under the leadership of their presidents. Their vision, some projects, some grant writing, whatever, some fun things that we're able to accomplish, I would like to showcase that in Houston. So for me, and I hope you feel too, that Rotary makes you a better human. It makes you a better person to be a Rotarian, to be compassionate for others. Know that we are to go out in the world to serve, to change lives, that you have a hall pass this year from your international president, and you have my full support to do things different this year. I'll take questions.
You need to unmute yourself so you can ask your questions.
I hit the space bar and it didn't even work. I need to ask you, Mary, you broke up when you said we have a hall pass for, and I'm dying because I haven't heard the rest of it. What's the hall pass for? We have a hall pass to.
You have a hall pass this year to be a change maker. This is a year that you can do anything you wish in Rotary, and good
Hot
taste.
damn.
In good taste, of course. But yeah, Shakers really put anything goes this year. We've got to do it different, Ken. We've got to move it forward.
Thank you, because the suspense was killing me and I couldn't even come off of mute to ask you.
Feel free to ask Mary questions, guys and girls.
Mary, just a comment. Your talk is wonderful.
Thank you,
very
David.
comprehensive. You have so much on the ball, it's kind of scary. And so we're sitting here just in awe of all the things you're talking about. But really, I think the plans you have, I hope I can get back to the district conference back in May next year, because I plan to win that Mustang. I already have a Mustang, so another one would be all right. But hey, you know, you're doing great.
I hope you do win. And I have to ask you something. Are you acquainted with Cindy Wood from Mansfield? She's the sitting president, and I know that used to be your home club.
Oh yeah, I know Cindy quite well.
Well, she's one of our emerging leaders. I had the privilege this year to select 3 emerging leaders. Lisa Wilson is one as our assistant governor, Cindy Wood from Mansfield, and also Atan Schmelzer from Bowling Green. Those are our 3 new emerging leaders for District 6600. So
Yeah, Cindy's great. She started out in Lima,
yes,
where she had a lot to do with things over there, and moved to Mansfield, where she's been a fireball. She's a good one.